Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Well, there was a bit of news that happened. I guess you all heard it by now. Talk about that in a minute. Let me say hello to a few people. Oh, by the way, it is still Black History Month. So let us not forget that. Hmm. Oh, okay. So, Kathy G, you were here first. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Saturday. Yes, it's Saturday. Okay. Oh, really? Oh, my goodness. I'm so sorry to hear that. Um, wow, that's very sad. I'm so sorry to hear that. Hey, Lydia Washington, Gwendolyn Daniels, Elaine Parker, Manello, Rodney Jackson, Mabel Jones, Angela Bowman. Okay, and Eugenie Miller, Deidre Meinke, 10. Um, okay, I'm about a 7 myself, but okay, about an 8 if there's cocktails involved. Berta Sanchez, hello, Carol Lund, Mabel Jones, Veronica Quick, Rodney Jackson. Okay, so I'm gonna scroll a bit here, and yeah, but hello to everyone collectively. I'm so sorry about that, but I see there's a lot of comments already, so I'm gonna just scroll through the names. Although I have to stop here and say, Connie Bomber. All right, and make my way down here. Wow, there's a lot of comments. How long were you guys waiting? Oh, Lydia says, Happy birthday, Anastasia Isabella. Welcome to the 30 Club. I've been a lifelong member. Happy birthday, Anastasia Isabella. Many happy returns of the day. Okay, thank you so much for that reminder, Lydia. Uh, Let me see here. Okay, this is the last comment. Half an hour. Okay. Oh, that's how long you've been waiting. Oh wow, looks like Mo Shannon is here. I think someone said hi to Legs, so hello. Tara Lovett. Oh, thank you so much, Rick. Thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And thank you, Lydia, for the super chat. Okay. Oh, I need to do something with this microphone. I think it's a little far away. You're so far away. Does anybody stay in one place anymore? It doesn't help to say that you're so far away. Every time I say far away, that triggers that song. Okay, so Lex wants to say hi to a few people. We can help with that. All right. Thank you all so much for your patience. Now, let's get on with it. Um, so it is Black History Month, February, the shortest month of the year, but I ain't tripping. It is what it is, but that's okay. We kind of made up for it with the Martin Luther King's birthday. So that being a national holiday, that makes sometimes 30 days. uh, oh, yeah. Let's see here, Cynthia. Oh, okay. You know what? I haven't looked at any of those messages I got, and so you guys, that just reminded me about that. The people that need me to see why they can't have access to the comments or the chats rather. I swear I'm going to get to it. I didn't do it last night because I was working on something else. But I promise you today, if you have been unable to get into the chat and you talk to Lydia about it. I promise you, I'm going to take a look at it today. But yeah, it was just some other stuff that I was working on and I lost track. But anyway, I will fix it. So again, happy Black History Month. Now, today, I actually got a bit emotional when I first saw this, and I found myself like, I don't even have to tell you guys this. If you're of a certain age, when someone says hospice, you know what's next. And I hope this is not triggering for some people. It certainly triggered me for a few reasons, and it's that thing that nobody ever wants to hear, but it is a part of life. And well, after all, Jimmy Carter has been blessed with 98 years, and we have been blessed with him sharing so many of those years with us. And he even survived a very rare brain cancer. But he has decided that he wants to um, uh, just do some, convalescing at home until whenever. He doesn't want any more interventions. And of course, that's totally his cause. I'm sorry, his call. So Jimmy Carter is the longest living American president, um, ever. So yeah, I'm all kind of feelings came up because, I was always very, very, involved with stuff like that, and I even campaigned for Mondale Ferraro. Of course, Walter Fritz Mondale was Jimmy Carter's vice president. So yeah, you're right, Church Nelly. He was president way before his time, way before his time. But um, I, and I'm not even going to get into an argument with nobody. This is just how I feel. He, to me, has been the most honest person to ever hold that office. That's just how I feel about it. So, no argument. If you got something else to add to it, save it. I don't care. But I've always felt like he was the most honest man to ever occupy that office. And that's just how I feel about it. And a man of prayer, which is something that I have a lot of emotions for Jimmy Carter and Rosalind Carter. And yes, he was definitely a whole nother type of person compared to most politicians that you would have ever met. So, um, all I can say is just pray for him. And yeah, he's a good guy. Now, this was an article that came up today. Biracial woman says Meghan is proof racism and privilege coexist. Um, this is a very, this gets to be a very emotionally charged topic in certain circles. And of course, as we found out after the, the Harry and Meghan docuseries, there was a great deal of scrutiny over things that Meghan said, and in particular from African American people, the comments about her being treated a certain way once she married into the royal family. Now, she was speaking her truth, and I respect that. Meghan also had a very unique experience growing up compared to most people that I've ever known. However, increasingly we find more and more people who find themselves with a foot in two different racial backgrounds because of their parents, and because they want to show respect to both parents, the fact that they refer to themselves as biracial, or, you know, a lot of them have been very practical. They just say, yeah, black. It's the easiest thing to do. And we all know what happened when Tiger Woods tried to call himself Copley Asian, Caucasian, black, and Asian. That was a huge mistake. The easiest thing to do would be just to say, you know, I'm biracial. I have a black parent, and also that is of Asian descent, and I have is his mother Asian? Would have been the simplest thing to do, but he decided to complicate things. And did he ever pay the price for it? And I remember there was a time when Mariah Carey tried to explain her racial identity, and that backfired. So it is a very emotionally charged thing anytime someone tries to explain their identity. And as we learned yesterday, um, you know, Meghan is very forthcoming about who she is and where she comes from. And unfortunately, you cannot ever satisfy anyone. Well, actually, you can't satisfy everyone. And I, if you guys haven't seen the documentary on PBS, I think it's called Great Performances at PBS. They had Lena Horne in her own voice, or my own voice, and Lena Horne spoke about the challenges of being a credit to this and a first of that. And it's hard for someone like a Lena Horne to get any type of, I guess, sympathy or understanding, because there is the idea of pretty privilege. There's the idea of the privilege of her skin tone, and so on. And so there is really a no-win, depending on, you know, who you're speaking to. It's a no-win, and I feel bad for people who have suffered, and it is suffering no matter what we think. It is suffering when people second guess your identity. And look at how people, sometimes people, you know, said certain things about Obama, who appears obviously that he's an African American man, and you almost have to really look hard to see any part of him that you know, may have come from a white mother. Not to say that you can't see that there's Caucasian blood in his DNA. Um, that's pretty obvious, but how far back it goes, that's, you know, where, you know, oh, there's some people who are biracial that look more biracial than Obama, and some people that look less biracial than Obama. And truthfully, I mean, looking at my DNA, there's about a certain percentage of a little Scottish man inside of me, and a little English guy inside of me, and even 1% of a little French guy inside of me. And but that's not how I identify. I identify myself as an African American, and so it's so many facets to that diamond that it's almost not even worth trying to explain things. We've all, especially if you're African American, you have people of, yeah, that's a good word right there, rainbow. You have people of every hue in your family. And even within my family, I look just like my brother, but my brother, his skin is lighter than mine, right? And you know, we both look like my father, so you know, there's no, you know, question to me that there's, you know, anything different about our parents. um we both have that kind of you know, look on our face where you just, you know, who our father is. So That being said, it's just everybody is going to come out a little different unless you're identical twins. Um, and so, with even within a family, same mother, same father, you're going to have people that are lighter or darker, and that's just the way it is. So, if you guys can find this article, is in the Washington Post, and as you can see, it was written by Samantha Cherry, and yeah, today is the 18th. It came out today. So if you can find that, go ahead and look for it. I would have put it on the community tab, but the only problem is you have to have a paid subscription, and I don't know too many people who have a subscription to the Washington Post. But if you know how to find it, that is, with the archive, then go ahead and do that, and that may be helpful. Okay. Let me see if I can still find it though. But yeah, that is one way you can find it, is to go to the Washington Post and you can read about it. Gosh, I see that the social media is being flooded with stories about Jimmy Carter, and rightly so. I mean, he's a great guy, and oh man, I was so sorry to hear that. When I heard it, I was just frozen. But, I got to keep saying to myself, he's 98 years old. He's 98 years old. He's lived a good life. And, I think after a certain age, it's not the same tragedy, but still you'll miss people no matter what the situation. Okay. So this is it right here. I'll just do like oh, wait a minute. You know what? I don't know why I'm going through all that trouble, because didn't I? Nope, I did not. Okay, I thought I had at least the first paragraph or two, but I did not. So, let me see. I got this. Don't nobody help me. I got this. Okay, there it is. Since she was a child, Low Silver has been repeatedly asked, "What are you? What are you?" Um, After explaining that she is biracial with a white and one, well, let me see, with one white and one black parent, Silver says she is still sometimes met with incredulity. I'm sorry about that. Um, let me see, incredulity. There you go. Where you're black, they respond. Yeah. So people would look at her and say, "What are you?" And then when she says that I have one white, one black parent, they just say, "You're black." And, I don't know how that feels. I don't know how that feels. And for this beautiful lady that you see on the screen, this young girl, this baby, um, does that like eliminate the other parent? Does that make one of the parents delegitimized? Is she forced to choose? Is she encouraged to choose? TR says, Baron, one thing is you get tired of explaining your identity. Reminds me of that royal staff said, no, but where you okay, where your mama and daddy from? Exactly. But yeah, where are you from? Like they did Fulani. Yeah. And then it goes on to say, after George Floyd in 2020, she decided to be even more upfront. Yeah, I'm black. She emblazoned on shirts she designed. Yeah, I'm black. And let's see. It's a conversation starter. It's a statement piece. It's a stance. And Silver, who's 29 years old, attributes the curiosity to her light skin tone and her loose curl pattern of hair. So when Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, began publicly discussing her own biracial identity, says Silver, a social media consultant, she could relate to the feeling of racial ambiguity and even being accused of passing as white while still proudly claiming her Black identity. Yeah, that's oh boy. I mean, you would think at some point we could get beyond that, but I guess in a society like this, it just comes natural. So I am going to try and post this on the community tab. I'm going to try. Um, and if you guys can grab it, you can. If not, you may have to subscribe to Washington Post, or if you know how to get around the subscription, then try that. I won't explain how to do that, but some people know. And if you know, you know. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if I tell you or not, but I don't want to get in trouble. So there's that. And let me put this over there. And so you guys will be able to find it. And then we'll go on to the next topic. Okay, I'm going to do a little test to see if it comes up. But right now it's in the community tab. And wunderbar, it is there. Oh, no, it isn't. It still asks for a subscription. Never mind. I tried to help. I tried to give you the shortcut, but it still wants a subscription. So I tried. But thank you so much for your comment, TR Sirugs. And thank you for being here this fine Saturday. Karen, everyone will be listening whilst ironing. Okay, cool. Let me see. Oh, by the way, I didn't adjust. I don't think I did the speed. Now, I'm doing an experiment, Lydia Church Nelly. You guys are supposed to be able to control the speed of the chat now. You guys are what they call a manager moderator. So go ahead and see if you can do something different. I don't know if I turned it on right or not. But yeah, so you guys are the new sheriffs in town. You have been given a you have been given a what you call it, a promotion. So see if you can affect the speed of the channel from your end. I don't know if it worked or not, but I was trying to do something different. Apparently, you can have someone manage the speed. And so I didn't try to do anything. I was hoping we could find out if it works on your end. So let me double check that. Let me double check. Yeah, so you guys are manager moderators. How you like that? Christmas has come early. Oh, man. So, yeah, see if that works. If not, then I'll try to do it again later. Let me see. Did that do anything? Okay, I don't see nothing different yet. So if you need, I'll do it myself. But if not, yeah, I tried to make it so you guys could do it. All right. Let me scroll back a bit. Did I see a super chat that I missed? I think I missed the super chat. So I said thank you to Rick, right? Wait, let me see. Jacqueline is here today. Hi, Jacqueline, the official chaplain of Royal Sussex. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. And I'm scrolling. Good grief, these comments are coming fast. Okay, maybe I'll have to do it myself because they are coming in fast and furious. Okay, so Katie V, that's what I was seeing. Katie V, thank you so much for the super chat. And thank you for watching. Royal Sussex. And thank you for being a member. And thank you, Elaine Parker, for the super chat. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. All right. Okay, so let's go on then, shall we? All right, so this Peter Thatchell, who has a blue check mark, breaking. I received a tip off that Prince William's office pressured the BAFTAs to disinvite journalist Christo Grovzed, who exposed the plot to take out Alexei, that person there. I don't want to say those names. Source is source is insider. Okay, so I guess he's saying that he has an inside source. This is a story that's in the Guardian. So if you go to the Guardian for today, you'll find this story. So it alleged that William pulled some strings to get someone disinvited from the BAFTA Awards, which is this weekend, right? I suppose it's tomorrow. Anyway, the thing is, William, just like his father, just like the story of, let me see, the oh gosh, Icarus and Dadius, where the father warns his son not to fly too close to the sun because your wings are made of wax. And the son did not listen. This is one of those Greek things. So the son did not listen. And as he soared closer to the sun, so full of pride and full of himself, his wings began to soften. And all of a sudden, he went crashing down to the earth in a big thud. Well, the only difference in this story and Icarus and Dadius, those Greek gods, is that I don't think the father even warned the son. As a matter of fact, like father, like son, I think they're both two of a kind. Now, I'm showing you this magazine cover for the Metro. This is one of dozens of covers you can find where you'll find that they have referred to London as Londongrad, like Leningrad, Londongrad, which means that, of course, it is no longer just London, the city that was founded by the Romans, Londinium. Now it has become Londongrad because of all of the money from the oligarchs that have sunk into the pockets of politicians. And that does include a few of the labor politicians. And of course, there was a peerage that was given to the publisher, or is it owner, should I say, of the Evening Standard. So it's a lot of shady stuff going on, and it seems like William may be finding himself in the thick of it. So we'll see what happens with that. But the article, I went through the article a couple times, and I could not find where it made any mention of William. So definitely, I have not brought this up to accuse him of anything, except he's been photographed with, the owner of the Evening Standard, Lebediev. Is it Lebediev? His father was a KGB spy, and then suddenly his father, I guess he was supposed to have left the KGB and have become a upstanding, upright oligarch citizen in the UK. And I guess he or his son or both petitioned Boris Johnson to get his son a lifetime peerage. So for the rest of his life, he is going to be part of the English peerage. Let me see, his son with the president of the BAFTAs. Yeah, and so there's his son right there, Lebediev's son, with the president of BAFTA. So I'm not saying that there's any direct connection, of course. And as you know, Royal Sussex has reached out to Kensington. I love saying that. Royal Sussex has reached out to Buckingham Palace for a response, but so far they haven't got back to us. Oh man. Y'all know I ain't reached out to nobody. I barely get off the couch most days. What do I look like trying to reach out to Buckingham Palace? I ain't reached out to nobody. I'm just saying that William is he's making quite a name for himself. That along with those trips to the Middle East to plant a flower and talk to one of the, princes over there. This guy is just like his father. And what bothers me about this the most is that they are doing everything that they can. Hey, Dorothy Ross, they're doing everything that they can to bring as much taint and tarnish to the crown. And when everything goes, shall we say, kaput or kaputin, kaput, they're going to blame the Sussexes for it. They are going to blame the Sussexes when they are the ones, along with the Tories, that are making a bad name for themselves. Oh, were you guys able to slow down the chat? Yes, no? It looks like it's slower now. I think so. Well, if not, we'll see what happens. Maybe I didn't do it right. I mean, I see it, but I don't know. Maybe I didn't do it right. Oh, well. Okay. Now, 60 Minutes, and I mean the real 60 Minutes, not the one in Australia. No offense to the Australians, but that's a horrible show they have. The one in the United States, the real 60 Minutes, they actually did a story about that some time ago about the oligarchs and all the Russian money in London. And not to be outdone, I have to remind you guys that Trump was able to get loans from Russia that were not available from a bank in the United States. He actually, I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. His son said in an interview that we do a lot of business with Russia and that they were able to get loans for the Trump organization from Russia that they couldn't find anyplace else. American banks would not give that flim flammer the money. Black Queen says, did you guys see that Ukrainian refugee woman living in the UK talking about how shocked she was to see so many Black and brown people living there? She was scared for her kids in the school. The caucasity. No, I did not see that, but I'm not surprised. I am definitely not surprised. We have learned more about Ukraine in the past year or so than we ever thought we'd find out, and not in positive ways. So, yeah, that's messed up. Oh well, what could I say? She better not go to Paris. If she goes to Paris, she's going to get the shock of her life. Okay, so Archewell had an announcement today. Archewell Foundation helps launch Responsible Technology Youth Power Fund. What does that mean? Well, first of its kind fund to power youth leadership in responsible technology. The Responsible Technology Youth Power Fund invites youth and intergenerational led organizations to submit proposals for initiatives that are shaping the future of the responsible technology movement. Young people are a powerful force in the pursuit of more inclusive and equitable technology ecosystem. However, cultural, social, and infrastructural barriers often prevent youth-led organizations and intergenerational partnerships from accessing funds and realizing their full power and potential in shaping responsible technology. If you are a youth or intergenerational led organization or initiative working in the responsible technology movement, please consider submitting a proposal for funding. Applications are due by April 1st, 2023. So, you know what all that means? I have no idea. But it's a lot of cool, hip, I'm sorry, it's a lot of cool, hip, young people doing something. And it was on the Archewell website. So it must be something good. So make sure you guys go to the Archewell website and figure out what they're talking about and then get back to me so I can, put a proposal in. In the in the meantime, I'm going to wait to hear from you all because I wasn't sure what they were talking about, but I'm sure it's something important. I mean, you have two Asian kids, a racially ambiguous woman with big hair, a kid who has a very Mediterranean curly hair thing going on, and some guy with a gray salt and pepper beard. They must be doing something good. So find out what they up to so I can, do something. Uh, I mean, she's got a bullhorn. They must be doing something right, right? Right. But anyway, it was on the Archewell, so that means I support it. Okay. So with that, the Archewell Foundation helps launch Responsible Technology Youth Power Fund. Right? Now, I just have a question for you guys. How many people thought I wasn't going to get that intergenerationally led organization? Intergenerationally. Wait, and if that wasn't tough enough, what is that? Infrastructural barriers? Infrastructural? I was surprised. I'm like, come on, Baron, you're doing this today. So the intergenerationally and infrastructural, those are some big words, right? So you know what? I think I'm going to send myself a super chat. I think I'm going to send myself a super chat for getting those. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to scroll and look at a couple of your comments before I go on, because I got a little messy to do. Let me see. Mr. Barron, you did it correctly. Church. Oh, put us in the slow mode. Okay, cool. Cool. I'm glad to see that works. So aside from those fantastic powers, now Church Nellie and Lydia will also, I don't know what else that's supposed to do. It's supposed to do something else, and I don't remember what it was. But anyway, uneasy lies the head that bears the crown, okay? So good luck, you guys. Okay, it says here, the user has same, okay, you know what I'll do is I'll just do this. Okay, here we go. This is what it means. That's what it means right there. It means there's a new sheriff or two in town. So now you understand the awesomeness of your new powers. Oh man, there you go. Got it? All right, you guys, good luck. Good luck. Don't let me down. Wait. Don't get me what is that? Don't get me demonetized. Oh man. Okay. I'm on a roll today. Now let's get messy. Okay, Kate Middleton taking her revenge on Meghan Markle with major change, says expert. Speaking on Royal Beat, the royal biographer Duncan Larcombe says that the hiring of a private secretary for Kate Middleton comes as revenge against her sister-in-law, Meghan Markle. If she's taking revenge on Meghan, who's taking revenge on Kate? Because I'm telling you, wasn't there a band that inspired Kate Middleton? I think it was called Twisted Sister. That Twisted Sister you're looking at right there. When I saw that, I had to laugh. I'm just like, if she's taking her revenge on Meghan, who's taking revenge on her? I mean, this looks like somebody who has been dealt with. You know what I'm saying? This looks like someone who has been dealt with. All you have to do is gaze into her eyes. Okay, I'm not going to add anything to that. But all you have to do all you have to do is gaze into her eyes and you can see something ain't right. Now, when you gaze into her eyes, you might have to tilt your head a little bit because, you know, they're not straight on like they used to be. But all you got to do is tilt your head a little bit and gaze into her eyes, and all shall be revealed. So, I was thinking about that headline, and I'm just like, I can understand why they say that, but is she okay? Is she okay? Because increasingly something is happening to poor Kate. I've been saying this for a little while that the wear and tear and the rigors of trying to outdo Meghan is taking a toll on her. It is written all over her face. All over her face. So I wouldn't worry so much about her having revenge on Meghan because somebody is dealing with her, and it's not the Sussexes. She has revenge written all over her face, but not her getting revenge for what she conceives as wrongdoing to her. But somebody has put the whammy on her. There is somebody sitting up somewhere with a voodoo doll or, you know, a dartboard or something, but somebody has taken revenge upon her, and it ain't nothing nice. So, like for instance, here, if you guys remember there, the Mirror, the same people who says that she's taking revenge on Meghan. Isn't it the Mirror who ran that photo? Oh, I'm sorry, it's up there in the corner like that. But it was the oh well, I can't do anything about it. But it was, well, you can see it though. That was the Mirror that ran that photo. And then they got mad because some of the derangers thought that the Mirror cover photo was somehow altered by the Sussex squad. We ain't touched that photo. That's the way they put it out there. That very aged, withered look that she has in that photo, that was the Mirror that did that. So I don't understand what this thing is about somebody's taking revenge upon someone. Um, obviously, obviously, she's the one who is, you know, suffering right now. Meghan hasn't been seen for a couple months, and it is driving them crazy. So I would like to believe that this story is made up. And as per usual, if the palace doesn't reach out and say, you know what, we didn't say that, you can't have that article, then I have to believe it's true, especially something as malicious as that towards someone who is not even seen publicly in the past couple of months. And that's not it. This is only just part of this obsession with Meghan, who happens to be in Montecito, minding her business in Montecito, California, Santa Barbara County, where there are no leaks in Montecito, and yet they cannot seem to stop talking about her. So, and then also, what about People Magazine? People Magazine ran that unflattering photo. I haven't done anything to it. That is the way the photo was posted, or should I say, printed in the People magazine. So don't blame Meghan or the Sussex squad for that. Blame the publishers who forgot to airbrush or who forgot to use whatever filters that they use. Let me see, Baron. This is what's happened when you are mean. Very, very active meanness shows up on your face. Boy, she has some deep lines, so she has done some deep poop. Exactly, exactly. That's what's happening. Let me see. It's a friend of Harry. Talk about the ignorant and incredulous. Megan's name is the big draw for Hot Topic and more eyeballs. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I always say you got to throw a little Sussex in there, like olive oil in a gourmet meal. You have to throw a little Sussex in there to make sure people are paying attention. Those circles under her eyes say a lot. Thinking of ways to get the was that MK is keeping her up at night. Oh, thinking. Oh, okay, Megan. Maybe William isn't playing good, and okay, I got you. Let me see here. Probably Rose and William after a romp, allegedly. They sit in bed with their Kate voodoo doll sticking pins in it. I don't know. I don't know. I just thought that was really strange, though. Um, Given how she's been appearing lately, I just had to ask the question because I'm messy. If she's getting revenge on Megan, who's getting revenge on her? I mean, something is happening before our eyes. It's like she looks a little different every time, and I don't know what to call that, but she looks a little different every time you see her. If the Sussex squad had that kind of power, we would make Pale and Stale go poof. It doesn't take much, by the way. They're so mediocre. They're so mediocre. The only way that they can have any relevance is to bring the Sussexes into it. That's the only way. Gift Love says Megan has a good heart, and that's why she glows all the time. Maybe if other unroyal family repent from their evil ways, just maybe their skin will improve. Just maybe. Just maybe. And that's a big just maybe. Uh well, 10 says that they're okay, I don't wanna but yeah, I hear you, 10. I hear you. Well, I'm going to tell you that product that I don't want to mention, that product that a lot of people use to try to improve their appearance, they have found out that it doesn't dissolve like they said it would, and that it actually moves and shifts its location, which is something that I'm only just hearing for like the first time within the past few weeks. I have never heard them say, and when it was mentioned, they showed an x ray of someone and they showed the shadows of where it was located and how it traveled from one spot or location to the other. So I'm not saying that that is what's going on here. I'm not even saying that they are using that product, but it does look rather curious. It does look very, very curious. Okay, so I would say that the whole idea of revenge was born out of this exchange that we learned about from Spare. And that was, of course, Kate says, and Meghan said, right, I told you the tailor had been standing by since 8 a.m. Here at KP. Can you take Charlotte to have it altered as the other moms are doing? And then Kate replied, maybe. And of course, then Meghan said, I'm not sure what else to say. I'm not sure what else to say. The dress doesn't fit, then please take Charlotte to see AJ. He's been waiting all day. And then Kate said, "Ugh." So maybe it was, it's amazing that even in text, it still comes out the same. But woo! Even in the text, it comes out the same. Barely coherent. Barely coherent. Even her text messages need subtitles. That's interesting. So maybe that's the reason why they feel as though that there was some revenge or whatever taking place because of this rather one-sided conversation. Well, seemingly one-sided conversation where you have Kate muttering something, and then, of course, in the clearest, most well-defined way, Meghan, of course, uh, decided to respond. And anyway, maybe that's why there was a confusion. I don't know. So anyway, mediocre Middleton, or Kate Middlebum, as she was called in college, when she used to throw her behind out of the window of the dormitories so that any person walking on the street could see it. I'm told. Um, she has been competing against Meghan. And of course, with all of the jewelry that she has on, all of the war paints. I mean, what does that commercial say? Ask Sherwin Williams. She even asked Sherwin Williams, and it didn't seem to help. And she put on the Groucho Mark eyebrows so she could have that after six look. She did a whole lot of stuff. And as you can see, I wouldn't say she's barely recognizable. But yeah, all of that is in response to Meghan with that fresh washed look, very minimalistic makeup, a little, what do you call it, smoky shadow, and just the very minimal of what's necessary. Kate, I'm afraid, looked like she worked in one of them houses, as my neighbor used to say. She used to say Vanna White looked like she worked in one of them houses. I ain't gonna say what kind of house, but my neighbor used to say that all the time. She'd say, I don't like Vanna White. She looked like she worked in one of them houses. And that seems to be the look. That's that seems to be the look that she's going for, like she worked in one of them houses. Um, so that's a lot of trouble to go through. You know what I mean? When you could just go back to wearing your little Mary Poppins couture, go back to wearing that very what was that she said? Poor Kate with that Wickstead coat or whatever. She could just go back to wearing those little things, and nobody would look twice. but instead she's trying to compete where she can definitely never compare, and the results are a disaster. So yeah, while she's doing it to herself, I don't have any sympathy for her. I really don't. She is a very cruel individual, and for someone who is obsessed with this idea of what impact the early years have on children, it just seems like she would have done more to help Meghan, especially considering her position, but she chose to um, you know I'm just, I can't prove that she has been responsible one way or the other, but I'll just say that I don't think she did enough when she had the opportunity to do it. So it's the bed that she's made for herself, and I hope she enjoys it. I hope she enjoys it. But what a disgusting way to be with people. It's never too late to do the right thing. But she has been as big a part of it as evident by the way that she's been going about doing this stuff with the clothes and everything. That's very tacky. That's very tacky. And everybody knows what it's about. And then they get into, they talk to the press and tell the press, oh yeah, we're all wearing burgundy or maroon or whatever because we're showing Meghan that or whatever. It was just so childish. The whole thing was just so childish. So if it was anybody else, I don't know. I probably still wouldn't feel any sympathy. It's very cruel. It's very cruel. And while Meghan was going through all the stuff she was going through, to allow that lie to perpetuate about Meghan made her cry, that's her doing. But, I have to do this. I have to do this.
Meghan in a Valentino white. Compare, I hate to do this, but compare Meghan in a Valentino white, absolutely wowing the crowds, and dear Kate in that very staid 1940s Amelia Wickstead coat.
Oh, you're really winding me up now, yeah.
Well, I knew that would upset you, Richard, because I know you're more of a Middleton kind of girl and you like the sort of twin set and pearls 50s look. But all I'm saying is, who's speaking to the future generations, the younger generations? It's Meghan.
Yeah, so keep competing, dear. Keep trying to get your revenge. Just keep doing you. Just keep doing you. We all see what the results are. You are getting tired, exhausted, and pretty soon you're going to have to take one of those vacations for 30, 60 to 90 days. So good luck, Kate. Let me see here. As the saying goes, what you put out into the universe, you will get back. The universe is speaking to Kate. Yeah. Yep, the universe is saying a lot to her. YM Droid says, Baron, clearly Louis is part of the squad, and he's showing on Kate, and it's showing, I'm sorry, on Kate's face. He tried to let you know in that video. I can take a hint. I can take a hint. Let me see. I can take a hint. Okay, let me see. Oh man, why don't I see that one? Oh, there it is. And there you have it. Someone's mom being pistol whipped by a plastic replica gun. Oh man. So thank you so much, YM Droid, and thank you so much for that super chat and the amazing hint. Okay. So remember, it's never too late to stretch. You should always stretch, especially if you're Jennifer Lewis. You should always stretch. Jennifer's been stretching for years, and look at how she's turned out. That's it. I have nothing else to add to that. I thought it would be fun to put it out there, though. Okay, so blow for King Charles Coronation concert as Adele and Ed Sheeran turns down invitation to take part. The Mail on Sunday can reveal that the pair were asked to perform at Coronation concert after the monarch issued organizers with a list of musicians he wanted to appear. Well, this is the weird thing, you guys. I went back to try and find the article, and I couldn't. I promise you, it doesn't seem like it's there anymore. I'm sure it's buried somewhere in the Daily Fail. But the thing is, when I went to that little tab at the top of the columns where it says King Charles III, when I clicked on it, I couldn't bring it up again. Isn't that weird? I clicked on it and I could not find the article. It seems as though the article has disappeared. So I don't know if they lifted it because they found it embarrassing or what, but I could not find it the next time I tried to find it. Let me see. Prince Andrew fears Charles is forcing him out of his $36 million home. Furious Duke of York tells friends his brother is slashing annual six-figure grant that helps him maintain sprawling royal lodge. Get a job. Oh, you know what? I do see it. I found it. I think they took it down for a minute or moved it, but I found it. I found that article. So it says here, Charles's coronation concert has been dealt a huge blow after both Adele and Ed Sheeran turned down invitations to take part. Well, I'm not surprised about Adele, but Ed Sheeran, I thought he had a little bit more of the connection with the royal family, but maybe he doesn't want to ruin his brand and taint his image by being a part of that farce. The Mail on Sunday, okay, I did that already. Both Sheeran and Adele have said they were busy and unable to play at the Windsor Castle event on May 7th, the day after the king is crowned at Westminster Abbey. A source involved with the project said the king has suggested a number of people he would like to perform, and Adele and Ed were on the list. He was very keen they were part of the concert. There's a team set up to get the talent signed up, so they approached the two of them, but got replies saying, we got a thing. I'm sorry, I got a thing. No, I got to change the air in my spare tire. Sorry. Now I'm just throwing that part in there. So, yeah, they won't be there. So that is the shape of things, no pun intended. But no Ed Sheeran and no Adele for the king's coronation. How you like that? I have a newfound respect for them both. Okay. Love it. Love, love, love it. Inspirational place says Kate is so pathetic, even though Meghan is the one being dragged by those notorious people. Kate is still the one that looks pathetic and sick. Meghan glows and glows amidst the backlash. Doesn't she, though? Doesn't she? Meghan is the moment. Let me see. Oh, well, needs a spanking because he knows exactly what he's doing. Let me see here. Uh, Megan has always had baby brain's number without even trying, and no phony, desperate gimmicks can reverse that fact. So true, Joseph. So true. Let me see. No one said she had to be Megan's best friend. If she just put forth a quarter of the effort that Harry did for her when she came into the family, she showed her true colors. Isn't that the truth, Patricia Smith? Isn't that the truth? There was such a lack of civility from her. And as Megan said, they come over for dinner. I'm barefoot, I'm cooking. I reach out to embrace them, and, nothing, nothing. So I guess they wanted to come over and they wanted Megan to show all of this deference for their titles, and they didn't get what they wanted out of the moment. They did not get what they wanted out of the moment. And so from that point on, I'm sure that it was just downhill. Alicia says, I don't know when Charles and his posse will realize nobody cares and nobody wants to be a part of anything he does. Of course not. They haven't figured that out yet. But in order to make people excited about this coronation, they are trying to pull young people in with music. I was really disappointed that Diana Ross did the Jubilee, but for Diana Ross, that was a big audience, and she hasn't had a crowd like that in a long time. So I can understand why she would want to be there. And she's probably met the Queen in the past or whatever. So I was disappointed, but I'm not angry at her about it. Yeah, Dorothy Ross, that would be a relief. I think, just call it off, especially at this time when so many people are going through this inflationary period. It would probably be best just to call it off. Have your coronation, dial it back, don't have anything as big and elaborate as they have planned. The Queen's funeral, that cost about $1 billion or more. Shutting down governments is expensive. Paying people for their day off, people, I'm glad people got their bank holiday, but still, that costs money. And security, well, security is everything from having people block the roads to chasing away the homeless people, removing street lamps. They removed street lamps. That costs money. Let's see. Joey Henry, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Wow, there's 1659 in the chat. Make sure you guys do the thumbs up, please. Make sure you guys do your thumbs up. Yes, hit that like button. I didn't realize there was that many people here. Okay, let's move on to here. There's Ed. There's Adele. Yeah, good call, you guys. Good call. Good answer. Good answer. Okay, now a little more fun. I mentioned what was it, yesterday or day before yesterday, that it seems like Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, cannot seem to put his arms to his side. Some people say it looks like he's wearing a corset. His suit is too tight. I'm fascinated by the fact that his thumbs are facing inward. When you put your hands to your side, your hands are kind of on a little angle and your thumbs are in the front, your pinkies in the back, but not Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis is all hands up front, all hands on. Oh, looks like someone sent me a Cash App. That was very nice. I won't say the name, but thank you so much for the Cash App. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Saturday to you. But yeah, so kind of weird that he has that very awkward build, but oh well. As far as his wife concerned, I guess you can't help you who you fall in love with, right? But then, of course, I started thinking about this. Remember how Ron DeSantis was looking all downtrodden, all down in the mouth? Because here he was trying to flex and show out after the hurricane, only for him to find out that in this Republican stronghold, who was the real star in town? Joe Biden. Joe Biden, as Kamala Harris say, Joe Biden, Joe Biden. Joe Biden was the star in town. Even Uncle Cracker standing there realizes that Joe Biden is the star. Look at him. His wife all hugging up to Joe Biden. And of course, he's he's wearing his Florida Cracker shirt. I mean, isn't that Ron DeSantis's demographic there? Aren't those his voters? What are they doing all snuggled up to Joe Biden? When you spent your allowance flying refugees to Martha's Vineyard, and now you need to ask dad for a bailout, isn't that something? He spent all of that money. Now, mind you, the money belongs to the state of Florida. He used money that could have gone for other things in Florida. And what did he do with the money? He took the money not to help the refugees. Instead, he decided that he would fly them up to Martha's Vineyard. Now, if anybody knows anything about buying tickets on a plane, it's always more expensive to fly people to a small town where you have to do a connecting flight and everything than it is to fly to a big town, because smaller planes are usually more expensive for people that fly. And so that was, it would have been cheaper, I'm saying. It would have been cheaper to send them to New York or Chicago or wherever. But instead, he was trying to show his voters how decisive he is. And so he decided to send them to Martha's Vineyard to send a message to the woke crowd or the whatever. But then when there was that hurricane, he had to hold his hat out and hope that Joe Biden would put some money in it. And then there he is wearing those white boots. So I guess he thought, since I can't get attention from my constituents by showing up, maybe I'll do something different. I will wear my white boots. Yes, these boots are made for walking, and that's just what he's going to do. And then, of course, the internet, if you guys recall, the internet went crazy. They had DeSantis in his thigh-high boots. They had DeSantis, the stormtrooper, DeSantis, the white M&M, DeSantis, the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader in those snazzy white boots. So, yeah, we had a lot of fun with DeSantis and those white boots. So, what an epic backfire. Let me see. Baron, I know who stands like Ron DeSantis. The Terminator. Check out the old flicks. Ron DeSantis, Ron walks around like a robot. He really does. He really does. He really does. Poor guy. He's not going to get any respect. And my favorite, I think, was Ron DeSantis and Alex Jones looking like a couple of leather daddies. That was my favorite. I mean, those just look like they're real bodies, doesn't it? Looking like a couple of leather daddies. And then, of course, Ron DeSantis as Saunders. What's his name? Saunders. Oh, man. So anyway, that was fun. I had to take a little trip down Ron DeSantis memory lane. Okay, so what Meghan Markle wrote about parents Thomas Markle and Doria Ragland on her blog, The Tig, from praising hardworking daddy to thanking free-spirited mother for all those lessons, for all the love. And then, of course, is Meghan plotting her big comeback? Fans speculate Instagram is set to return. Royal experts say Duchess is building up her next business venture after hiring Hollywood guru. You know what all this says? All of this says Meghan is the moment. Meghan is relevant and important and popular. And it says that they are not getting the clicks that they want because Meghan has made herself unavailable and they are losing their minds. Okay, so everything that they could say about Spare, they have gone through it. All right. There's nothing new about Spare. They even had fun with the South Park. Okay, that's run out of steam. So now the latest thing is that Meghan is planning a big comeback, or what Meghan had in the TIG, which actually we heard about that for the first time the other day. So they are trying to build a case by going through the TIG. They are so desperate. They are so desperate that they're going to the TIG to try to ignite some type of interest, some kind of story. How desperate can you be that you've gone to the TIG? It's been there. They've had ample opportunity to go through the TIG. They had all this opportunity to go through the TIG. And so now they want to try to rummage through the TIG again and try to build some case against Meghan for who knows what with old information. So this idea that Meghan is just not that relevant, they are losing support. Nobody's interested. Well, somebody's interested. Somebody's interested. I mean, they have gone back and they are accusing this innocent child with her little cat eye glasses, her speckled t-shirt top on. They are going back and accusing a child of plotting and scheming to find her a prince to rescue her from obscurity. Right? That is the assertion, is that she found the prince to rescue her from obscurity. She was plotting and scheming all those years while she was riding on some looks like Universal Studio tour. She's looking around and getting ideas in her head about how she's going to pull off this coup. They what's his name? Morton even wrote in his book that she wanted to be Diana 2.0. That's a lot. That's a lot. All those years of scheming and conniving and little back alley deals. I'm picturing little Meghan in her parochial school uniform, hiding in some back alley somewhere with some power broker, negotiating how she's going to plan this meeting with Prince Harry and I mean, it's all so much. It's a lot to take in. Exactly. She's the one who rescued Harry. Harry's the one that needed rescuing, as evident by the fact that Harry is in California now. He's the one that needed to be rescued. Harry was the one walking out of a boarding school with his belongings in a bin liner, not Meghan. Oh, do go on. Do go on. So, from royal rebound for Kate to William's first love, what became of the exes of the Prince and Princess of Wales dated before meeting at St. Andrews? You know what? We'll never know. Well, they did have an article in the Daily Mail, but I didn't even want to bother. But it's a slow news period for the royal family. You would think that Kate's big comeback you would think that Kate's big comeback would be dominating the headlines. Well, actually, you wouldn't think that because there's no there. But they've run out of steam. So now they're just making up stuff. It doesn't get any better than this, folks. This is as good as it gets. And as for who they dated before, I'm sure that whoever he dated was not going to marry him, and whoever she dated, well, with all that wonky stuff she got going on, all those little ticks and twitches and stuff, I'm sure he was glad to see the back of her. Meghan's been gone for 6 years, and it's killing them that they got ran out of Montecito and cannot get any scoop on her and Harry. Why do they care since they hate her so much? Is sick. Well, Shelly J is not principal, is a mortgage, it's a car payment, it's their kids' tuition. That's why they care, because they don't have the clickbait. I mean, seriously, guys, seriously. Meghan has not made a public appearance since what? November? Was it November 19th? Meghan hasn't made an appearance, and it's killing them. It's hurting them so bad that they had to go back to the TIG. They had to go back to the TIG to try to think of something. Meanwhile, I got plenty of material. I mean, look at there. I got Charles. I got his emotional support, Camilla. I got William, Kate. Harry's been busy, so I've never had it so good. But they've run out of stuff. They run out of stuff, and it's killing them. What is she doing? Is she planning a comeback? Is she trying to get a ticket on the SpaceX rocket? Is she working for Tesla? Where is she? It's killing them. I mean, they are dying a slow death because they don't have anything to write about. And see, if the story was the other way around, if Harry was the one at home with the kids, then they would make a big fuss about that. But because Harry has proven himself, I mean, let us not lose sight of something. Harry has truly become a breadwinner. He has done something that his miserable brother will never do. He is a breadwinner. He is providing for his family. He's putting a roof over their heads. I mean, they both work. Don't get me wrong, they both work. But Harry has man upped, and he's putting a roof over his family's head. And that is something that his brother has never done and will never do. His brother is going to live off the public dole for the rest of his life. And Harry, and it's not even just the book. I mean, he's got Better Up, right? And, even though he doesn't get paid for the Invictus, He's got Invictus, the most successful thing that anybody has ever done away from that institution. Harry used a small amount of money from the Prince's Trust, or from, I'm sorry, what was the name of that one that they had? Not the Prince's Trust, but from the Royal Foundation. He used a little money from the Royal Foundation to start Invictus, just a little. The rest of the money, by his sheer wit and charm and intelligence, he was able to put together the Invictus Games, whilst his brother, with all of the resources, the tabloid media, the Royal Foundation, and of course that stage mother, all that he has going for him, and the best he could do was the Earth Flop. All he was able to do to put together an event that was so boring and so dull that there's only a family of 4 in the periphery looking at people walking in. You got more journalists and photographers than you have well wishers trying to see what the frappuccino is going on. There's a vast difference between Harry providing for his family and William posturing with this, what is it, Earth Flop? Yeah. Huge difference. And if that wasn't worse, then he goes out there in a green turtleneck. Did nobody warn him? Could anybody had pulled him to the side and say, mate, don't. But that didn't happen. He don't even have people working around him to save him from himself. So, yeah, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying it. And you know what? Whatever time Meghan needs for whatever she's doing, I'm enjoying watching them collapse. Yeah, they thought Invictus was going to collapse because Harry doesn't know what he's doing. He can't think or do anything for himself. He needs William. Well, if William is trying to help him, who's going to help William? Oh, man. If William is going to help Harry, if William has got to do for Harry, who's going to do for William? William can't even carry himself. William cannot even carry himself. Pathetic. Okay, let me take a look at a couple of your comments here. Manella says, Baron, why invite a soon? What is that? Why invite a soon? Is that son who closed funds, stripped off his hard-earned titles, army with no bodyguard. No, they want to embarrass him more, to be a tabloid fodder. Pray he doesn't go. Oh, you're talking about them going to the the coronation. Yeah, as I've been thinking about it, I'm like, I always say whatever they want to do, but I think it's better that they don't go. I'm leaning into they should not go. It is going to be a huge distraction for the coronation if they show up, and it's going to be even worse if they don't go. If they don't go, then, and you know what? I just thought about this too. If they don't go to the coronation, maybe this will finally put an end to this endless speculation for every event that happens with that family. Will they or won't they? Will they or won't they? They did that with the coronation. I'm sorry, with the Jubilee. They did the same thing with Philip's funeral. I mean, even the day the Queen died, they made this big fuss about Meghan not being there, or not being invited, or after the live television footage of the plane landing and them having they were so certain that Meghan and Harry was on that plane. I will never forget that. I will never forget how they made such a big fuss about Harry and Meghan being the first ones to Balmoral. I will never forget that. I won't let anybody forget that. The day the Queen died and all they could talk about was Harry and Meghan. Yep, go figure. Go figure. Oh, they're just not that popular as they think they are. Yeah, they are. That's why y'all can't stop talking about them. Trupadilly says, thank you for telling that truth. Will and Kate love living off the public. It's made them billionaires at 150 million pounds a year for doing nothing but globe-trotting at the taxpayer's expense. Yeah. I'll tell you another thing, too. I was looking at something about the Netherlands, and they were saying that, and I heard this before, and I kind of forgot about it, but they were saying that Willem Alexander, that the young people are not connecting to the monarchy there, and only the older people want the monarchy. And they're trying to decide whether or not there's going to be a referendum. There is going, in the next few years, it's going to be interesting to see how many monarchies are left in Europe. I think the Scandinavian families are pretty safe, but I would say that the Netherlands, the UK, Spain, Denmark, I think their futures are going to be a little uncertain. I think their futures are going to be very, very uncertain. But Sweden and Norway, I think they're pretty stable. But the rest of them, and of course the principalities, I think all of those are pretty safe. Monaco, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, I think they're pretty safe. But as for the others, not so much. Not so much. Thank you so much for that, Truthadilly. Choda Cece says, I honestly believe they have a very strong hold of power, control over Harry. I love Harry's response to King Charles III when he break Queen's passing news to him of who should be allowed to be there. Thank you so much for that. And Lorna Williams says, oh, that's for Annie Bullard. Okay. Oh, we had a troll? Oh, really? Nice catch. Okay. Today, there are two famous birthdays that just happen to be in Black History Month. If there's a book that you want to read, but it hasn't been written yet, then you must write it. Today is Toni Morrison's birthday. Yes, today is Toni Morrison's birthday. When did she die? Was that 2019? So happy birthday to Toni Morrison. And then also, and you know what? I love this image right here. I found this on the Twitter, and that's how I found out it was Toni Morrison's birthday, because not only is it Toni Morrison's birthday, but it's also Audre Lorde's birthday. You cannot use someone else's fire. You can only use your own. And in order to do that, you must first be willing to believe that you have it. I love that. If you got to use your fire, you got to, if you want to use your fire, you got to believe you have it. You can't use somebody else's fire. You should never try to use someone else's fire. And I really do wish somebody would tell that mediocre princess to stop trying to use somebody else's fire. Meghan has her own fire, okay? Meghan has her own fire, that she has complete authority over what happens to that fire. Even though somebody tried to take it away from her, they tried to get her to be less than, but she has her own fire. Everybody has their own fire. Shouldn't try to borrow somebody else's ladder to make it in this world. Do you, boo? Do you, boo? So, happy birthday to both ladies. Let me see. Morrison was born in 1931 and Lord was born in 1934. So, very, very cool. Also, this is like one of my favorite photos right here. Angela Davis and Toni Morrison walking the streets of New York. Now that is just lovely. I love that. But let's go back to this. I love this. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. I wish I had like a big one of those, although the colors are very vivid, but I think that is super, super cool. I don't know who the artist is. I don't know who to credit this to because I couldn't find the artist, but I mean, I could just, I'm finding myself getting lost in the tones and everything is beautiful. Very, very nice. Also, I have to say, one of my favorite people in the world, Martha Stewart, she never ceases to impress me. Martha Stewart, I love, love, love her. I love that picture of Martha Stewart, Snoop Dogg, and I forgot who else it was. And they were saying, one of these people in this photo is a felon. Can you guess who? She was standing in a photo with some rappers, and they were trying to say who was the one that has a felony. And of course, yeah, as you know, it was Martha Stewart, who is no stranger to an ankle bracelet. So yeah, she's one of my favorite people. I love her. Right on, Martha. Come on, Martha. And with that, you guys, thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. I am so done today. I appreciate you all being here. It has been a real pleasure. Thank you, moderators. And I hope that Church Nellie and Lydia won't become drunk with authority with their new tool, which is theirs on a trial basis, of course. Oh, man. I may log in one day and see that the show has started without me. Oh, man. Let's see. I have this as a long poster. Really? Bought it years ago at the thrift shop. It was a 1960 artist. Seriously? This one? Oh, wow. That's outstanding. That is, do you know the name of it? Because I would love to know the name of it. I would like to have one for myself. But yeah, if you can find the name, that would be very helpful. Let me see. By the way, King Willem Alexander will be celebrating 10 years on the throne. And it says calling people up to nominate 100 people living in the Netherlands to celebrate with lunch at his palace. Oh, very cool. I like him. I really do like him. And I hope, I hope that, that he has a chance. I mean, because 10 years, that's not a long time. I hope he has a chance to show people, who he is. And I mean, the guy has a commercial pilot's license, so he's not, this lazy person that does nothing. Let me see. Right? You better say it, Black Queen. You better say it. how did they send Martha to jail? But you know what? She was donating a lot of money to the Democrats. That's how that happened. Oh, you're quite welcome, Foxy. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, thank you a lot for being here. Oh, there we go. Thank you so much, TR, for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Saturday to you. Let me see. The Brit Royals are dragging all of them down. Yeah, you know what? That is so true. That is so true. I think that the Daily Fail and all the rest of those papers with their constant coverage, the Rupert Murdochs of this world, they are the ones that are hurting the brand for other royal households. I do believe that. I do believe that. You guys, I'm kind of concerned about Anne. She hasn't been on for a couple days. I hope she's okay. You know, she's younger and I feel protective of her, so I hope she's okay. Um, I mean, I'm sure she's fine, but you know, she's like a kid to me, so I feel protective of her. And if she's listening, I hope you're okay. Let me see if she put anything on her community tab. She hasn't posted on there for a while, so yeah, I'm sure she's fine. Oh well. Okay. Well, you guys, thank you so much. Remember to pray for Jimmy Carter. He is one of my favorite people in the world, and I really, I'm telling you guys, this morning when I saw that news, I got very, very emotional. I had to just stop and get away from the computer for a minute, because I think a lot of him. I really do. I'm very fond of James Earl Carter. Yeah. Well, and she was in the chat here yesterday, so um, so I'm sure she's fine. But I was expecting the phone. You know, I love when she has the call-in show. So I was expecting the call-in show, and when it didn't happen, I was just like, oh, okay. Let me see here. I think the key difference is no Spanish or Dutch Murdoch. Oh yeah, yeah. There is no Spanish or Dutch Murdoch, but still they influence a lot of the news in other places. This culture of the tabloid press. Thank you, Sunshine, for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. Let me see here. Willem Alexander and Maxima, always building bridges between all people living in the Netherlands. That's good to know. I like them. I really do like them. I like them as a family. Um, I just think they're really nice people. I get good vibes from them. Yes, Habitat for the Humanities, right? Sunshine says, Baron, let me see. Thanks, Baron, for loving and supporting all people and Black women. Yeah, you know what, Sunshine, I don't know if you know this or not, but my mom was Black. Yeah, so it just comes natural. But yeah, I mean, it's just, guys, the other day, I like when Nicholas Sturgeon stepped down, you guys could hear in my voice how upset I was because, it's just like, I have always been, a feminist about almost anything in this world, especially politics. And I would like to see more women in those types of positions of leadership. And it was just such a blow. And however it happened, it was just a shock. And I really, really like Nicola Sturgeon, and I was very upset that she stepped down like that. So, I just think that um, considering how the history of the world has been, women need to be protected. They need to be uplifted and encouraged, especially like when you consider how many countries in this world where in 2023, especially like looking at Iran, 2023, and all they want to do is to walk the streets free and unencumbered by wearing a headdress, or to pursue their dreams without having to ask permission of a man, any man in the house, so long as they ask permission, or someone being beaten by the modesty police. That should not be. That should not be. And so having an example like Angela Merkel or um, Jacinda Ardern, Nicola Sturgeon, having that example is a very powerful thing. It shows people what's possible, not just women, but men too. It shows what's possible. And then the last thing I'll say about that is I look at it in another way too. Why would God give a woman a complex, intelligent mind only for her to be treated like a child by a man who may or may not be smart, who may or may not be capable? What sense does that make? Why would God give a woman intelligence for her to be treated like a child, if not by society, even in her own household? That just never made sense to me. That never has made sense to me. So if it doesn't make sense, then why should it be? And that doesn't make sense. Women are full pledged people of whatever color, religion. They're part of the whole, not a child because they were told to be subservient. It just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense that in this day and age that the world is still that way. I mean, you ever like see a woman surgeon, and she has her team, and she's doing this work that, let's say, 100 years ago, people would be like, "You're not a doctor. What sense does that make?" That is just that is so silly. And the sooner the world moves on from that, the better the world will be. If it was more women in power, there wouldn't be so many wars. Let me see here. Okay, thank you, Truthadilly. But that's just how I feel. That's my core belief. All right, so I think we're good, you guys. I better get out of here before Lydia and Church Nelly start thinking up a new logo for Royal Sussex. Although whatever logo that Church Nelly thinks of, I'm sure it is going to have a shot glass, a flask. Oh man, I'm sure that it will incorporate all of those things. Okay. Well, all right. So let's do something for the birthdays today. Let's do something for the birthdays. Okay, so I know it was Anastasia's birthday. I think I heard someone else's birthday today. Let's do a little dance off for the birthdays. Hello, Ivy here. Hello, Ivy. Girl, the Duchess of Sussex won. Meet me at the Royal Sussex party. Serge Nelly's gonna be there. All right, Ivy out. You know what? I have not come down from my high yet. As you know, All right. Happy birthday, one and all. Let me see. I think it was 2 birthdays today. So happy birthday, and thank you all so much for being here. And with that, I'm going to look for the last word of the day as we give our usual thanks to our queens, our queen of hearts and our queen of everything. And let's see here. Yes, yes, absolutely, Reba. Absolutely. The very model of integrity. You know, and Jimmy Carter was still he was still doing Sunday school. He was still doing Sunday school. I get so mad at how some of the people on the right wing have tried to vilify him. Did you guys know that Jimmy Carter was the one who, I believe, he had told the military, because there is a lack of representation, that he wanted them to find someone that they could, move through the ranks. And anyway, Colin Powell, who was, of course, he was looking for a qualified candidate, but it was Jimmy Carter that was the one who really started things moving for Colin Powell. Number one, he was experienced. And of course, Jimmy Carter always wanted to make sure that there was some form of representation for everyone in the government. And so eventually, Colin Powell became the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. I believe that was under, oh gosh, was it the first George Bush? But yeah, Colin Powell was kind of, recruited from the military by Jimmy Carter, and then went on to serve Reagan and under some capacity or the other, I can't remember, and then Papa Bush, and so on. So that was the type of thing that he's responsible for. And then, of course, who can forget Andrew Young, the ambassador to the United Nations? That was Jimmy Carter. That was kind of bold for that time, but he made it happen. Oh, it was the second Bush. Okay, the second Bush. But still, he had some. I don't think he was chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff with Papa Bush then, or was it? No, I think so. But he also, for the second Bush, what was he? Okay, so for Papa Bush, I think he was. Was he the? Oh, I can't remember. Oh, I don't want to get it wrong. He had a long career. Let's just say that he had a long career, but it really started rolling because of Jimmy Carter. There's a lot of stuff, Jimmy, like deregulating the airlines. The only reason why we can fly for so cheap nowadays, that was Jimmy Carter that deregulated the airlines. before that, the airlines, they were the ones who pretty much were running the show. But when Jimmy Carter deregulated the airlines, that is how we got so many airlines. When I was a kid, I can still remember it wasn't so cheap to fly. Okay, he was Secretary of State for Junior and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff for Papa Bush, and then he continued in that position with Clinton, right? Right. I think that's right. He continued in that position for Clinton. He was, I think he was going to quit, but Clinton wanted him to stay because so many people were skeptical about Clinton that having Colin Powell, who at the time was a very conservative Republican, was part of the selling point. That's true, Linda. That is very true. If you look at the map from the election when Carter won the presidency, Carter carried the South. I mean, he carried the whole South. He carried the entire South. Okay, guys, it is 2 hours, so I'm going to go. But thank you so much, and thank you, moderators. Thank you for the donations from everyone. Greatly appreciated, including my Cash App. That was fun. And yeah, that's it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, y'all come back now here. Y'all come back now here. Take the shoes off. Texas tea. This has been a Filmway presentation. Thank you, Angela A. Always fun. Always fun. Fun and yet informative. That's the goal. Fun and yet informative. That is always the goal. Okay. All right. See you guys. Oh, I didn't Ginger Avenger yet, did I? Let me do the Ginger Avenger. And then I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, thank you. Let me see here. Okay. I got to go start the car. It's been a few days. That's not good. So I got to go start the car, you guys. What cookie? Yeah, I did walk away for a second there. I really did. But I'm back. Let me see here. All right, you guys, that's it. I think we're done. All right, love you guys. See you tomorrow. And I'm going to work on those people that haven't been able to get into the chat. I'm going to work on that tonight. Sure enough. Really? Barry Gordy is President Carter's cousin? I never knew that. Okay. It's interesting to know. Okay. All right. Let's see here. So, oh, thank you, Angel A. What? Oh, I am not a smoker. I don't smoke anything. Food is my vice. All right, guys. Love you. See you tomorrow.